Steven Gureño, Cal Art of Sports. We're here with Ernesto Tito Mercado. Man, that's kind of a prestigious nickname, right? Tito, right? Obviously, you know, where a lot of us think of Tito Trinidad. Just how did you get the Tito nickname?
Yeah, man, that's a lot to live up to. But no, I originally got the name just kind of off birth. You know, my father's name's also Ernesto, so to kind of distinguish us two, they'll call me Ernestito. So they would just put the Tito part to me, just kind of distinguish us two.
Right, for sure. Because then you guys are both going to be answering your mom, right? Man, we're here, 360 Promotions. You know, the workout to January 27th. You just told me you're going to be the co-main event, man. I'm excited to see you. I've heard a lot about you. Just what can you tell fans? You know, maybe even like myself. Just what can they expect to see January 27th?
I mean, you know, for myself, man, I've always put on great performances. You know, I've obviously always looked to go for the knockouts, but you know, obviously, you know, 360 always puts on great shows. So not only me, but I know, you know, it's gonna be a great show in general. You know, obviously, I'm gonna just try to contribute to that. And like I said, man, 360 puts on great shows, so I'm happy to be part of it.
Man, you're in a hot division right now, super lightweight, 140 pounds. You know, I was in Vegas a couple weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, and Arnold Barbosa fought, I can't pronounce the guy's name, but you beat him before Barbosa did. I saw, you know, you have a few names on your record, right? Hank Lundy, what was the other one? Jason Velez, I believe, is one of the other ones, man.
Right. Recently, I just found.
Right, yeah, man. I feel like you're like not like a secret, because I feel like I've heard about you for a while, but I feel like maybe this January 27th, you know, maybe the first time you've been on like UFC Fight Pass, obviously, you know, and maybe fans are going to be able to see kind of the talent that we keep hearing about.
Right. I think it's more so that you know the real boxing fans know who I am. Obviously, the fighters know who I am. Everybody that's in the division, but I think it's more or less this year, you know, getting the eyeballs on me. And I think, you know, with 360, you know, them putting on great shows, them working with UFC Fight Pass, I think that's just a great way to start off the year. And like I said, for people to see me and see, like you said, for everybody to see the talent that I have.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know if this is maybe the biggest stage you've been on. I feel like maybe just because I haven't seen you on TV, like, you know, UFC Fight Pass, does that bring any pressure or anything? Does that kind of, I don't know, what does that extra bring?
No, not really. You know, I fought on UFC Fight Pass before. I think it was last year, maybe the year before that. But I fought on UFC Fight Pass before, and to me, I think I fight better with, you know, the lights on and pressure. I like to really show out. So I think it's just going to be the best out of me, to be honest with you.
Man, like I said, you're in one of the hottest divisions growing. You know, all these guys from 35 are coming up.
Yeah.
You know, recently Ryan kind of changed his mind from Devin Haney to Rolly Romero. Just what were your thoughts on that happening?
I think, I mean, like everybody's saying, right, because you're saying out Floyd too much, but I think, you know, realistically, that was a smarter move anyway. I think Rolly's an easy fighter that he can beat. You know, Devin Haney right now is kind of hot. You know, he's doing his thing, and you know, I don't think stylistically that's a good fight for him. A guy that moves around, I think Rolly just fits him more stylistically, and I think he could, you know, eventually become world champion if he fights.
You know, who is the best fighter for you at 140, not named Tito Mercado?
That's hard, man. There's a lot of good guys. You know, Teofimo, you know, you got Devin, obviously now. You also got the guy, Real Matias. You know, people are, you know, saying that he's the boogeyman. So there's just so many guys, man. And to really know, you really got to get in the ring with all of them. You know? So I guess it sounds kind of hard to say, but you know, that's hard. But I would give it to Teofimo. I'll probably give it to Teofimo for now.
Because of the credentials, because he beat, you know, Josh Taylor, the guy.
I think he was undisputed right in the weight before he vacated the belt. Mm-hmm. So I would probably give it to Teofimo, you know, until I beat him. Then I feel like I'll be number one on there.
Yeah, for sure, man. You know, speaking of Teofimo, he's been real vocal about calling out Terence Crawford, which is kind of rare because I feel like no one calls out Terence Crawford, right? Like, you know, he is a division below, but Terence himself came up from, you know, 35 and you know, filled in fine at 47. Just, if those two lock horns, what does that look like?
I think it's gonna be a long night for Teofimo. I think Crawford knocks him out within maybe 6-7 rounds. To be honest with you, I think Crawford just right now at a point where he's so mature and he has a lot of experience, man. You know, he's right now you can't really stop him right now. He's the guy. And Teofimo, you know, Teofimo's a great fighter too, but I feel like there's times where he has a lot of bad nights. You know, with Sandor Martin or Kambosos, he didn't look too good. And you can't really have an off night with Crawford, you know, basically. So I got Crawford on that one.
Yeah, no, it's a good fight. Hopefully we get some of these big fights right. I feel like coming off of last year, especially, right, we're looking at big fights, you know, this coming year. Another big fight, maybe the biggest, undisputed, you know, against Tyson Fury versus Usyk. Just what does that play? How does that one play out?
That one's kind of hard, man, because I haven't watched Usyk too much. But for some reason, I feel like I'm gonna go with Usyk on this one. I just want to go with the underdog, but I think ultimately I think the type of first fight might be too much for him. I think it's actually
Just too big?
Yeah, just too big for him.
Who's, I was thinking about this morning, or like just kind of leading into this year. Who's the best fighter pound for pound on Twitter?
On Twitter?
On Twitter.
Damn, that's hard, man. There's so many guys. Damn. I would probably have to give it to either, Ryan or, like they say, Shakur Twitterson, man. One of those dudes has to be number one, right?
I mean, I don't know. I'm asking you. I don't know.
One, man. I don't know. After a while, you kind of stop paying attention. They just talk too much. But I think between those two, for sure, I think I'll just give it to Shakur because he wants to be pound for pound so bad. So we give him the pound for pound Twitter one.
There it is. Man, looking at this year, obviously we're starting. You're starting off in January. What's kind of the goal for you by the end of this year? Do you want to be champion? Do you want to be, kind of forcing a mandatory on someone? Just where does Tito Mercado want to be at the end of the year?
Man, that's hard to say. Obviously opportunities land, some don't. Obviously, ultimately, like any fighter, right? Any fighter this year, we all want to become world champion. So if that's a possibility this year, of course, I'm gonna take it, and I'm obviously do what I gotta do to make that happen. But I just want to keep fighting good fighters and just proving why I'm best. Like I said, man, fighting guys like Tito or fighting guys like Barbosa maybe in the future. Hopefully, I was actually supposed to fight with him that weekend that he fought. They turned it down. So, just fighting guys like that, man, I think ultimately will get me to that world title shot, and regardless.
I was gonna say Golden Boy has a lot of those 140 pounders. Are you gonna have to maybe do business with those guys to get those fights then?
Yeah, man. Like I said, they called me for the Barbosa fight, and we were trying to make it happen. They declined it. So, whoever wants to fight, like I said, I'm always my resume shows I'm willing to fight anyway. So. Like I said, man, both parties gotta want it. That's all I gotta say.
100%. Tito, thank you so much for your time, man. It was a great meeting you, brother. Tell the fans where they can follow you.
You can follow me on all social medias at Real Tito Mercado, and you guys are gonna this fight right here, January 27th. It's gonna be another spectacular show by 360.
There it is. Appreciate your time, brother. Thank you.